Hello, everyone! Happy Friday! We are back again. How's it going, Alpha?
Going good. It's going good. I just got I got a little bit of a upgrade to the room. It's like this thing over there. It's like all white and black and things. It's a bit cooler because we're going into summer. I know y'all are going into winter.
Right, it's getting cold here, man. I had to turn the heat on.
Well, it's getting warm over here, so I need to turn the cool on.
So weird. It's kind of cool, thinking about that. It's like, okay, I'm going into Christmas, and you're going to have like 80 degrees in summertime at Christmas. That's just going to be so strange.
Yeah. So it's strange to me. Again, because I'm always watching movies, and they're usually set in like the US or like in the northern hemisphere. So it's like,
right?
What do you mean snow on Christmas? Like, what does that mean? We only know a hot Christmas. Like here,
you're supposed to have snow at Christmas. How do the reindeer and the sleighs work if it's all hot, man? It doesn't make sense. But hey, that's okay. We're back for another crazy week because, man, there's been a lot of crazy things going on this week. So we're going to dive into that, and then we're going to jump into tonight's topic, which is the beautiful lie of decentralization. We're going to break it down because for the longest time, we believed that decentralization was our end-all, be-all savior. But the question is it really? And even where it's being utilized, is it being capitalized upon or is it being manipulated? We're going to be diving into that tonight, so definitely stay with us. But it has been a crazy week in crypto. So we're going to dive into that one sec. But first of all, let's see who's joining us tonight. And we see Wild Angel right there. Says, hello, happy Friday.
Hello,
happy Friday. It's Friday. I love it. And BTK, my man, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, buddy.
Hello, BTK.
Love it.
Amateur radio.
And we got vegan mom of vegan minion warriors. Wow, that's a mouthful. Good to have you, dear. I'm pretty sure that's Ashley. So Ashley, great to have you with us, dear.
Hello, Ashley.
It is Ashley. Ha! I got it right. See, survived last week, doing pretty good now. All right, so what I like to hear. Kind of running through the chat here, see what we've got going. Looks like you guys are chatting away. And Alpha, I know you can put the chat on the screen now, can't you? There you go. We'll keep the chat up here. Look at that. We're going uptown here. Yeah, I love it. Always progressing. Now, a lot of you guys know that over the last week, I have been ripping my computer apart. So if the stream is weird or the audio is, please let me know. Because this is the first stream with the updated system and everything got changed. So if it sounds weird, looks weird or something, please let me know. And I'll try to fix it. So we'll see how it goes.
Hopefully nothing's weird. Hopefully not.
I hope not. I hope not.
Everything seems good so far.
That's good. Well, there's a lot of things in the crypto world that's really, really weird. So let's dive into that. Now, the first one, as we know, I'm sure a lot of you heard on the news, CZ just received a presidential pardon. That's right. The man who's been in jail for, over 4 years now, is received a pardon. It's like, hey, we're good. And of course, that had some huge effect on the crypto world. Right off the bat, we immediately saw that Binance was now relisted on Coinbase and Robinhood. So as soon as that was signed, man, ink wasn't even wet, and they relisted Binance. So, that's really going to bring a lot of the BNB market back into the U.S. So for a lot of you who haven't been able to trade that, keep an eye on your favorite exchange because that's going to be popping up really soon. Now, of course, that opens up a whole can of worms, because the crimes were so extreme that they were talking. They were talking allegedly enabled money to flow to terrorist traffickers and sanctioned entities. That's what all that was about back in the day. And there's a lot of theories, tinfoil hat moments, if you will, that a lot of this has to do with the Trump family crypto ventures. Because, of course, now our president's involved in crypto, and we won't even talk about how that's going. We saw how it played out with the memes on it. Yeah. So it's like, dude, if we stole all the millions of dollars, we might as well let CZ out and let him trade because he didn't do that kind of shit. So I don't know. It raised a lot of questions. So let me know in chat. What do you guys think? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What do you think, Alpha? Silence. I love it.
Oh no, so shoot. I muted because there was noise in the road. I forgot to unmute.
Okay. I'm like, man, he's thinking hard on this one.
I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting because, we getting a presidential pardon for pretty egregious crimes. Trafficking, basically funding these sorts of things. But it's also what did CZ admit to? So those are the things that we know, okay, he did wrong. and maybe those things aren't as bad as they kind of seem, and they could have been, like, these sentences might have been a little too long. So, but we'd have to go like really deep into that, and I don't think any of us really wants to do that, because like, what? But it's definitely an interesting move, I would say.
It really is. And, it's there's a lot of confusion on this. And a lot of it, you got to keep in mind that back when all this occurred, our government at the time was all about the SEC. I mean, they were just suing everybody. They didn't care. There was a shotgun effect. Just sue them, sue them, sue them. We spent billions of dollars. And insanity. Absolute insanity. Now they're like, nah, it's all forgiven. Don't worry about it. SEC, they're out of the picture. It's, craziness. Craziness.
I will say it does give hope that maybe Roman Storm would actually be pardoned. Now, if you don't know Roman Storm, he's the guy behind Tornado Cash. So he's the guy that created the Tornado Cash. Now, if CZ is getting a pardon, there's a very high likelihood that maybe we'll see Roman Storm actually go free. That would be really good. That would be amazing for the world of decentralization. Because, like,
it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, Tornado Cash has pros, it has cons. There's a lot of on both sides of the fence arguing about that, and it's kind of how you choose to look at it. Yes, it could be used for bad things, but it could be used for good things. Kept things decentralized. So, that's an argument that I don't think anybody's ever going to win.
Definitely not.
Yeah, exactly. Fundos are Seifu. Awesome. As long as your fundos are Seifu, I like it. And hopefully they're not in Seifu. And he waited to do the pardon until the government is shut down. Yeah. Convenient, isn't it? It's kind of like doing the announcement of the increased tariffs. What was it, 5 minutes before the stock market closed? Yeah. We won't get into that. Oh, yeah. You can't tell me they don't plan this shit. They absolutely plan this. CK, my man! Good to see you, brother! So we're going down the rabbit hole of tinfoil and craziness. But CZ is out. He's pardoned. All is good there. So we'll see how it plays. As you guys have seen, BNB has set some new record highs. It's done really, really well, and it's going to continue to do so. So I don't know. I could really see it leading the charge in this next altcoin season. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are your top 3 altcoins that you're really looking forward to in this season? Alpha, what are yours, man? Everybody else, let us know in the chat.
Mine? Oh, altcoins. Okay, let me see.
It's always hard questions.
The thing is, I don't hold any, really. So it's like, it's hard to be like, oh, no, I'm convicted on this. Like, that's a cool one. But I'd probably still stick with Polygon. I might not like the team. I might not like a lot of that they do. But I do see what they are doing. And they have a really good chance of actually getting somewhere. I know I'd also go with AVAX. I know a lot of people might not. But AVAX has done some things. And I'm like, okay, that is really cool. I like what y'all are doing there. So I think I'd stand behind them. And probably Hype at this point. From Hype.
Okay. Yeah, they've been doing some amazing things.
Yeah.
The question is all the hype out of Hyperliquid? I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll know soon enough.
It really depends on what they do next. But I feel like they have some really interesting plans. And that leads me to be like, okay, they could really be one of those catalysts to actually blow things out of proportions.
Right. Could be. And Wild Angel says AVAX, XRP, and now BNB. Good choices. In my book, I think they're all sound investments. They're all long-term plays. Some would agree that others do better. A lot of people, of course, would say ETH, but then it gets to the debate. Is it really an altcoin? We won't have that debate here. But yeah, I would agree with that. And BTK says QRL. Absolutely. And I started mining QRL. I told you guys last week. Quantum resistant ledger. Now, guys, as you know, technology is advancing. These quantum computers are coming out, and when they do, they're going to be cracking seed phrase and stuff left and right. So a quantum-resistant ledger is the next level of security. I think it could be huge. And yeah, it has pumped. It has pumped big time. Last I looked, it was over $3.
And Zcash pumped like crazy. Zcash, a privacy coin. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from?
Yeah, there's stuff going on in the back end. We're just little people. We don't get to know what's going on in the back end. We find out like 5 minutes before stock market goes, oh, by the way, guess what? CZ just bought this. Like, oh, gee, thanks for telling us. You can always tell the traders who knew beforehand. But sadly, however, guys, it's not all great news in the crypto market. In fact, we are still at our Government shutdown. We have been running for 24 days, the second longest recorded shutdown in history. And just for the record, the first one lasted for 35 days back in 2018, and you'll never guess who was president at that shutdown. Any guesses? Ding, ding, ding. You're right. Trump. Once again, Trump has produced the second longest shutdown, which is still up and running. So, I don't know. It's coincidence? Nah, I'll leave that up to you. I'll stay out of the government side, but it is scary for a lot of people, and a lot of people are really hurting right now. So, it's playing havoc with the markets. Now, we got some other things going on here. Of course, for all those SkyX users. Now, last week I told you my SkyX miner was stuck on stupid. It was sitting there at 93.5 degrees for months. Tried tearing it apart, couldn't get it in the battery compartment, disconnect the electronics. So I just let it sit here until it finally died. But once it did, plugged it back in, recharged it, and now it's working great. So if you run into that same situation, unplug it, let it die, reconnect it, and then everything reboots. So it is sad. But on top of that, there's another sad piece of news for SkyX, is they have delayed their token generation event. And I thought, there it is. If I could open it. Oh, no, photos. Oh. New computer. So every time I try to do something, it says, oh, do you want to do this as a standard or not? Or it's like, yes, make it a standard. So it was announced on X, transparency is core to what we do. So here's an update for our token generation event. After reevaluating current market conditions and upcoming ecosystem launches, we've decided to adjust our TGE timeline to ensure strong liquidity and exchange support, better alignment with our ongoing deepened deployments, and a healthier start for long-term token utility. Mission hasn't changed. We're building decentralized weather grid of the future, and more updates soon. How many times have we heard that one? So, yeah. I can say personally I have not been super... Do what?
Crypto and soon. Those are not good words.
When? Yeah. I can tell you I have not been super impressed with SkyX. The devices are kind of fancy, kind of nice, but I've had problems with them. I've had problems communicating with the team, finding out what's going on. And then when they list out a token generation event and say, nope, guess what? We're going to change it. I understand the market situation stuff, but just at the last minute throwing it in X and say, guess what, guys? It's not really the way to do it here. Just my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. Is SkyX something that you're invested in? Do you have a miner set up? Are you running it? Or did you decide back in the day, it's like, yeah, I think I'll pass on that one. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one.
Well, if you did pass, at least you wouldn't be dealing with all the nonsense. So,
Right. Well, you might be. It's hard to say. Now, however, on the flip side of that coin is Nubula. Now, as you guys know, I've done videos on SkyX and Nubula. Now, Nubula just partnered with WYZE, which is a smart device manufacturing. And they have cameras, lights, sprinklers, and they're adding the Nubula is partnered with them to institute it into their arsenal of smart home devices. So, I don't know. Pretty exciting for this. How it's going to play, I don't know. We never know what the long-term game is. But I can tell you, my Nubula has been sitting on my roof for months. It has never had a wrong reading. I've never had a problem. It just set and forget and done. So, I don't know. Little piece of news here that you guys might enjoy. If you are a Nubula owner, we might get some new smart devices linked in with our weather stations.
So they produced actual quality, which can't be said for a lot of the deep end. Yeah, some of them you can very clearly see it's basically a cash grab because they just put in the bare minimum amount of work, maybe even just like a what's it called, a Raspberry Pi with something extra, and that's it. Plastic packaging.
Exactly. And Wild Angel says, I won mine. That is the only reason I have a SkyX device. Me too, Wild Angel. Yes. Yeah, we won those in, was it Denver? Or was that Seattle?
Oh,
Denver.
okay.
Yeah, I think it was in Denver at a dinner, deep in dinner there. And that's how we both ended up with them because, eat Denver. After doing the research, I was not thoroughly impressed with SkyX. I wasn't with Nubla, I wasn't with SkyX, but hey, we won them. I'll give it a shot. I'll do some videos on them. I'll at least let you guys know what I'm doing with mine. And so some of it I give you updates right here on Fridays. So that's why I hope you guys always tune in and make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. That way you know what's going on because I'm going to be back in the studio full time now that the computer's all fixed. So keep an eye out because I'm going to have a lot of stuff coming your way. Now, we had some bad news, we had some good news, time for some more bad news. Sorry, guys, if you are running an Aether Edge node, yes, just like I am right back there in the corner. In fact, I'll put this on the Jumbotron. So, yes, right here is my Aether Edge where it has set. Sadly, the airdrop that you were hoping for Season 3, yeah, no, they canceled it. And they're redirecting $34 million to the Treasury. And it says Aether surprised the community by canceling its Season 3 airdrop, which was set to distribute 1.26 billion ATH tokens, or $34 million value. Those tokens will now go to the Aether Digital Asset Treasury to support network stability. Now, I understand that we've got to support the network, things like that, but man, you just drop something like this on the community, you're looking to get some hate mail. Shit's going to go bad quick. But on top of that, they also scrapped the tokenomics 2.0, so they are sticking with the older 1.0 model, which means that device owners like myself will be earning 20 ATH tokens per day, down from the 100 ATH tokens per day we were earning before they kicked in the 1.0. Now, the 2.0 was supposed to take that base and then add staking ability, and you could increase. Apparently now it's out the window. So, yeah.
I knew it sounded familiar. That was, we had that conversation, I think, like almost, 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. Where you like showed
when they did that huge cut?
Like, yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Damn. They are just disappointing the community left and right, eh? It's like,
they are.
What are you doing?
And, with all these data centers, everything going on, the whole concept of edge computing is like, I don't know. The future is very unknown right now. And, am I unhappy I got an Aether Edge? Yes and no. I wish I would have gotten it much sooner when the hype was going on, because I waited till after all that before I picked mine up. So I'm still quite a ways from ROI. I've still got about 70% to gain before ROI. I've only earned about 30% of my ROI, so not really sure it's a good or bad investment. I guess we'll know here in about the next 6 months to a year. But at this rate, I'm looking at ROI of like 3-4 years. Hey, if it keeps running, that's okay. But
well, them holding the tokens back might just help it keep running.
Exactly. And who knows? Maybe they've got a partnership. Maybe they got something building. Maybe they don't. They're just treading water. I really don't know. What I do know is, had I known now what I knew then, I probably would have put my funds somewhere else besides buying an Aether Edge. But hey, live and learn. That's what we're all here for, is living and learning. Now,
how much were their devices?
$1,300. Yeah, they were way expensive.
Yeah, I almost said a bad word.
It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, I know. I feel the same way some days. I'm like, you piece of... Anyway, we're going to push that tragedy aside, and we're going to keep trugging forward, because that's what we do. Now, it could be a lot worse, because I don't know if you guys read, but Kadena has shut down. That's right. They had an announcement October 21st. The Kadena officially announced it was ceasing all business operations and active maintenance of its blockchain due to unfavorable market conditions. And I thought I had something on that. I don't. Crank announcement. Is that it? Nope, we don't. Okay. So that's... Now, Kadena had some good things going for it, but it was a very complicated system to run. Their wallets were a nightmare to deal with. Yeah. But they had some kind of neat things going on within it. So... But of course, that brings us to the next thing, which is, as you know, our crank miners have been running on the Kadena blockchain. So what happens with those? I've been a huge proponent of crank since day one. They've continued to build and grow, but unfortunately, I think they stuck it with the wrong horse. They put it on Kadena. However, hope is not a loss, because it was just announced by Millen that following the recent update from Kadena organization, we want to assure our community that Crank operations remain fully active and uninterrupted. All Crank products, services, and on-chain functionalities continue to operate with zero downtime, including Crank OS, multi-mining, Crank IMG, Crank cards, built by the community for the community. But what's really important here is our decentralized infrastructure bridging capabilities, allowing us to continue on-chain operations seamlessly. So even though there's no direct support with Kadena, your Crank miners are still running. They're still earning the Crank token, which isn't much. But more importantly, all your multi-mining functionality. There we go. There's the words. Are still working great. I checked on both of mine today, and they're operating at peak performance. My Wingbit's doing great. But it does say, Crank said, where is it? There's no action required from users at this time. And operation systems as we proceed with our transition to Solana for the next phase of Crank evolution. So Millen did announce on the 21st they will officially be moving to Solana. Now, a lot of us have heard this for a while. It had been rumored, but it wasn't official. I'd say that makes it official right there. It says nothing to do right now, so just...
And imagine it's a massive undertaking. So the rumors may have just been that because they've been working on it for so long, like maybe before the rumors even started, they were working on it. But because of how kind of the system has grown, the ecosystem, they have a lot of, you could say, backlog and technical debt that they have to deal with for the move to Solana. Hence why, now they're like, okay, you know what? Kadena screwed us. While JP Morgan stopped supporting the Kadena, so we might as well just go all in. We're going to let the community know we're doing this now. It's officially tell everyone, just said we can take away the panic, and then we'll be good. We'll work from there. So yeah, very cool, very good. And we should also make clear that the Kadena blockchain won't stop because it's a blockchain. It's decentralized. Right. As long as there's a node and a validator running, it won't stop. The Kadena Foundation, you could say, JP Morgan, stopped supporting the development of the Kadena blockchain. So they no longer, pushing their, tens of millions, hundreds of millions into the chain every year to keep it running, to keep getting new developers and stuff like that. Now it's completely basically in the community's hands, you could say.
Exactly. And, and that's a great thing. There's still a lot of KDA tokens to mine. So if you're mining KDA, well, they're still there. But of course, the announcement of this had a huge market crash. It dropped 60% within 24 hours, from 23 cents down to 10 cents per KDA token. And nearly 268 million in market value was lost in a 24-hour time frame. So, but the good news about that is, do what?
You could say it's a fire sale.
Yeah, fire sale. But now it's officially decentralized. It is in the hands of the people. Whatever you want to do now. I don't know, good, bad, kind of goes with tonight's topic. But a little piece of good news is the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskins, has reached out to the Kadena community, sparking speculation about future collaboration with rescue efforts. So, I don't know, there may be something going there. I don't know, keep your ears to the pavement, find out what's going on out there. What do you think, Alf? Is they going to save it, or is it just going to dwindle to nothing? What's your opinion?
Look, Cardano has a lot of, Charles and Cardano all together has a lot of hate behind their name. So I kind of see this as him trying to get some goodwill behind the Cardano Foundation and himself. And that's about it. You will likely be able to do something, maybe help spearhead an effort to kind of revive Kadena, you could say, help transition over to a community-led blockchain. But yeah, it's just for goodwill. That's right. What I can see out of it. There's nothing behind it.
Yeah, trying to make himself look good. It's like, yeah, he's already set everything else on fire. It's like, okay, let me try and do one good thing in my lifetime. So I don't know. I'm not.
Basically.
Yeah, I haven't been thoroughly impressed with Charles Hoskinson and what he's done. So I don't know. Maybe he's changed. Maybe he's turned over a new leaf. He went to recovery. I don't know. I don't judge. I just kind of play the numbers. So we will find out. But unfortunately, speaking of numbers, I got some new numbers that I guarantee nobody's going to like.
Oh, no.
So there are good old friends at Helium. As you guys know, I've been a huge supporter of Helium since back in the IoT day. And we've seen so many changes. Last week, I think it was last week or the week before, I told you how the proof of coverage was getting no longer guaranteed. Yeah. Now, if there's any leftover scraps on the table, then you might get a little proof of coverage. But beyond that, it's just data offload. Well, sad news, guys, because now you are no longer earning from mapping. That's right. HIP 148 just passed, and it has eliminated your mapping rewards. Now, for some of you who never turn on your mapping or fought with it night and day, That might be a good thing. I don't know. But basically, currently right now, 20% of HNT emissions are allocated to the mobile network as a reserve for mobile mapping rewards. So that's when we took our phones for a walk every day to pay for our cell phone bill. Well, sadly, HIP 148 did pass, and that means that all of those are going to be wiped out. We will no longer earn from mapping from running a Helium cell phone plan. Of that, 10% of the emissions will go to service provider rewards pool, and then the other 10% will go to mobile mapping rewards to data transfer pool. So that's going to increase those data pools if you've got hotspots set up for large populated areas, things like that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but one of my biggest things I loved about Helium is I could actually take the time to go out and map, do something, and pay my cell phone bill. That was one of my biggest proponents. It wasn't the best service, wasn't the best coverage, because it's on T-Mobile. Now, in my area, I've got T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, and that's pretty much about it. So it wasn't in the top tiered, but it wasn't super priced. So this is one of those where it's really, to me, disappointing, is that they are taking that away. They've taken out the proof of coverage, which had small miners like myself or like you, who only had 1 or 2 miners out there. We're earning something. Even if we didn't, own a part of a stadium we could set it in, or, had a good friend who had his own gym company that we could put it into the workout room, we could still make a couple dollars. So it seemed like the people's network. In fact, that's, if you remember way back in the day, that's how they advertised it. Helium was the people's network, right? Remember this? Yeah, not just me. Okay, good. I thought it was delusional. Well, they've taken out proof of coverage, so the small guy is kind of out on the mining, unless you happen to live right next to a popular place. Now they've taken out on the mapping coverage. Now, I do understand what they're trying to do, trying to increase, the data offload, trying to pay for things, but at the same time, to me, it feels like they've kind of eliminated the middleman, or the little guy, like us. They're pushing us away. So I don't know. What do you guys think of the chat? Let me know.
The way I see it, I can definitely see what they mean by maybe the coverage wasn't having the intended effect, which made the rewards to it being basically too much. It's like, yeah, we have this mapping functions and the coverage and the proof of coverage, but it's not really doing much, which doesn't help the token. We're just giving out tokens, and it's not going to actually help the network in any way. The effect is so minimal that it doesn't make sense to give out 20%. So I can see them making sense on that, but it's kind of too quickly. Like the same thing with the last update. We were just like, this just came out of nowhere. Like there was no build up, over time. Like, look, we're going to, over the next few months, we'll be sunsetting these features slowly over time because they're not giving us what we want. It's just like, oh, we're doing this now. Bam, in your face. Like that's
surprise.
That's not cool. That's not cool. Like do it in a way where people know and expect that, okay, these things that I'm used to right now are going to change. Let me make a new plan. Let me prepare in advance. Let me see what I can do to make things a little better for me. But just being out here and be like, oh yeah, slap in the face. You're not planning from this anymore. Like, that's not cool.
Exactly. Now, in their defense, I got to say, it is a decentralized network. So they put it up for a vote. And so this is what triggered tonight's topic, guys, just so you know, because I was furious when I read this and I started doing some digging, and then I was even more mad. And I'll show you why. Because when they put it up for a vote, I want you to show exactly who voted and how. And I'm trying to zoom in on this a little more, and it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. There's my zoom. Nope. No, it just... Oh, what is that? Close that. There we go. Is that going to let me zoom? Why is it not...
What is going on?
I don't know. It's a new computer. I warned you about that. So...
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Well, we have a white background, guys. Sorry for the brightness, but here is the voting statistics of this. So the first two voters of Farabee and Nova Labs cover 57% of the entire voting power. 2 votes. Yeah. To me, that's not decentralized. It had to get 73%, if I remember right, to pass. I think I put it on here somewhere. Yeah, I think it was like 73% or something like that. So literally in the first 4 or 5 people, it passed. It was done. So you got 4 or 5 votes and game over. Didn't matter how many people voted unless you had millions and millions of tokens. So unfortunately, unless you have a huge bankroll sitting there, your word doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. Your vote is useless. And I don't know. That to me is not what decentralized is about. It should be, okay, you know, one device, one vote. Across the board, everybody gets one vote for one device. And that's all there is. Versus being able to stake mass quantities and control what this company is doing. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Does this seem fixed to you? Or does this seem like, well, okay, we had our vote. You know, how do you guys feel about this setup? What do you think, Alpha?
I think that is ridiculous.
Scary, huh?
You need two people, like literally two voters are
right.
50%. Wait, not even 50%. That's like what, 52%?
57%. That's 57%. And you notice number two is Nova Labs himself, the company that runs Helium.
Obviously, they have millions. Well, what's that, like 100,000, 240 million. Like
241, right.
Normal person is going to be able to accomplish that much. Like, they should not even be allowed to vote in this.
Right.
Honestly, it doesn't make sense. Oh, that is insane.
But that's how some of these hips are just getting flown through so fast before we ever know about it. Now, of course, part of our job is to monitor and babysit them. But that just got even harder because I got more bad news for you guys. They are talking right now about shutting down the Helium Discord and having all information pass on X and Reddit. Yeah.
Of course they are.
Of course they are. Obviously, we don't have any power in the vote, so why the hell should we bother with Discord where the little people hang out? No, cut them all up. I don't know. Yes, I'm a little worked up. I do apologize.
Yeah.
I'm a little hostile. But
I would be too. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you guys have been following me for any length of time, you know that I was putting out Helium videos a couple of years ago. Back in the previous cycle, I invested in Helium. I've done pretty much everything start to finish. I've converted some over to Crank. I've done all kinds of things with it. So I've been a huge proponent of Helium. And the fact that I have to find this stuff out through the grapevine, like, wait, what just happened? Huh? Yeah, crazy stuff is going down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Serena's on a rant. Yes, I am angry.
It just reminds me again. I'm not. I mentioned that I think in the Discord that the Helium founder, or like the people from Helium, or was it like last week's episode, have literally sent cease and desist letters and threatened to lawyer up against a browser named Helium. Browser. And then the founder defends it as being like, oh no, but we have the trademark to the Helium, to the Helium. We have the Helium trademark, but then you look at the trademark and it says for providing internet access services, like as a internet service provider, not the bloody browser. And you're just like, what?
They're ready to fight. Let's see. The voting period for HIP 148 was from October 3rd to October 10th. Proposal has since passed. So yeah, I didn't even hear about it. Literally, I ran across it. I'm like, wait, when did this even happen? So yeah, part of me, I was not watching as close as I should be. At the same time, I didn't expect my cell phone carrier to suddenly change everything. It's like, hey, surprise! Like, okay, game over.
And how did they even announce it? Because if you didn't know about it, like, surely, like, you should have come across it in some way. Discord, X, something like that should have come across your feed. But don't you find out afterwards? That's weird. That's weird.
Exactly. And I want to give a shout out to Duff, who sent me a message this morning, because over the last few days I have been disconnected because my computer's been in pieces all over the ground. And he's like, hey, did you know? And I'm like, shit, no, I didn't. What? Then I started digging today, and I'm like, holy hell. Yeah, my blood just kept boiling. So you guys caught me at the end of I don't even say a cooldown, just at the end of finding out about a rant. So yes, if I seem a little hostile, I am. So I do apologize right now if I say or do anything that's like, damn, he's unstable. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Glad you could come. Hey, it makes Friday nights freaky.
Yeah. Besides, we all got to get a little hostile sometimes.
Right. Yeah. I'm not always happy. You can ask Wild Angel. I have my moments. I hit level of insanity that most people are like, there's something wrong with that person. That's not normal. Yeah, that's me. It's okay. So I think that covers most of the crypto news. There is a whole bunch more. I mean, I could go for hours on this stuff because so much has happened, and I know Nexus sent me a bunch. But I want to get into the topic tonight because I've got people backstage. You guys have been hanging out, and I'm sorry I'm like 10 minutes over my time. I do apologize for my rants tonight, but I have been fired up most of the day.
One more thing before we go into the topic.
Do it.
Ledger announced a multi-sig front end, right? In the CTO statement, he says it will be free to use. You go to the multi-sig website, you go to the facts section, and it says it will be $10 per transaction or 0.5% of your multi-sig clear signing transactions. $10 for everything else. Exactly. It does not sound free.
We're fighting today. That's it. Game on.
And you know what? You know what makes it even worse is that afterwards, after people were calling out and being like, yo, you saying free, but we go to the website and it tells us 0.5% and $10. And then afterwards it's like, oh no, guys, sorry, it was a typo.
No. This is not okay. Why do we accept shit like this? Why aren't we flipping out? Well, obviously we are, but I do that a lot. So, God, that's crazy.
Yeah. That was my day. That was my day. It has been quite the day. I've been fighting with Safe. I've been fighting with Ledger. I've been fighting with people defending Ledger. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Fights on! Bring it, Happy Feet. What are you, a size 4? Let's go. So, well, one good piece of news that I can count on every week, and I always give you guys an update just so you know what I'm doing, is my POX. Now, I put this in over at Monstro, 3 months ago? Roughly, something like that, and it is still earning my little percentage every single week. So this week, looks like we earned 77 cents, and we've gone from a $100 investment to 136. So, not bad. Doing pretty well so far. Received a total of 2716. So thank you, Monstros, for not changing the rules, not changing the game, and just keeping it solid like you always do. So huge love out there to V.
You know, a nice thing is that even though POX actually got hit by the market crash, we're still producing that weekly yield on it. Like, we didn't stop, we didn't close up doors. I know another project that decided to close up their doors because they were hit so bad during this market crash. Yet yesterday, today's the 25th. On Sunday, they were like, oh yeah, we're doing, this is how much we made this month. Monday, they were like, oh no, things kind of went bad and I lost all the money. Just yesterday, they were telling me everything was fine.
My bad. Sorry, guys. Game over. We're done.
Anyway, you know, Monster didn't do that. We are still good. We're still pumping. And the position is recovering. So I think we lost like 50%. But we are gradually getting back to where we were before. So hopefully over the next 3 weeks, we'll get back to 100% APR.
I hope so. That'd be great. I mean, even the fact that I'm getting something every single week, even with the market crash, I still got a return on it. It's like, okay, that's not bad. It's a nice long-term set and forget play. So, yeah, it's one of the few things I have that hasn't crashed, pulled back, and I'm just sitting there holding a big bag waiting like, can I sell it yet? Can I please go up? Please go up. Please go up. Please go up. Please go. Yeah. Thank God that's one I don't have to worry about. It just sit and forget. Yeah. So, Darius, thank you, brother. Love the fact that you've got it running. But I think that's all the crypto news that we've got. Wow, I see private chat going nuts. I've totally missed that. Sorry, Nexus. I'm a little loud. I'm probably yelling, so I do apologize. I will fix that. Yes, thank you for letting me know. Let me fix that. And while we do that, let's bring up Wild Angel. So, Wild Angel, how you doing, girl?
Hi, Wild Angel.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm not going to ask Serenity. How was your week out there?
The week's been good. It's been good. It's been a little busy. I had a little bit of an incident on Tuesday, but I can't speak about that on stage because YouTube,
right.
You know. So we'll skip over that. But the week has been interesting. Oh, I actually had a really cool conversation with a guy from one of the founders of a wallet, like a crypto wallet. I spoke to him yesterday. I replied to something on one of his posts on X, and then I made like a tweet. He immediately messaged me after that. I was like, yo, would you be down for like a conversation tomorrow? I was like, hell yeah.
Ooh.
So I had a cool chat to them earlier, just like to speak about their wallet and everything, tell them what I think is cool, what could be improved and stuff like that. He
Right.
took a lot of the suggestions. He was like, we're going to run with it. I was like,
Nice.
That's cool.
That's impressive.
"Yes."
So,
You don't see that a
Good to
lot.
hear your week's going good, Wild Angel. And yeah,
I had a
don't
really-
ask mine.
I had a really exciting day.
Ooh.
Bomb
Today
threats? What happened?
we wrapped up our United Way silent auction at the office.
Oh, yeah.
And holy cow, talk about our agency has such generous, compassionate, caring people. We raised over $1,100 in a week
Wow.
Nice.
for United Way, and that does not count our whole month. We still have another week, which we've got a Great Pumpkin Challenge on. People bring decorated pumpkins, and then everybody gets to vote for the best pumpkin. And then we've got a casserole potluck on Friday. Everybody brings casserole. Suggested donation is $5 for lunch. And so we will definitely meet our $1,500 goal for the month. So
Nice. Well done.
That's really-
Proud of you.
That is
that's
awesome.
really, really exciting.
It is.
Awesome. Well, congrats, Sarah. And hey, it's great to have you. Thank you for rushing home. I know it's been a crazy day, so we're going to get this party started. And I'm sorry I was on my rant, guys. I hate to keep you backstage. Never keep a lady waiting, but I did. I am sorry.
You're good.
But, okay, good. Well, somebody who's not a lady, but he is the man of the hour, Mr. CK. What's up, brother?
Yes, it is.
Hey, what's up? I didn't realize I was the man of the hour.
It just sounded good. I'm rolling with it. Just roll with it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm always the man of the hour.
Actually, I was really expecting to click over and hear you snoring like, oh, God, shut up. How's your week going, buddy?
Good. Busier than ever, honestly. Developing things. Was up till 6 a.m. last night, finishing up something, then slept till 2 p.m.
Little something. When do we get to hear about this something, CK?
Low key, high key. When it is ready to be shared.
Okay.
As a professional.
Fair enough.
But just exciting things. Yeah, exciting things involved in. And that's about it. Yeah, I have 2 job prospects I'm in the final round of interviews for, which I'm very excited about. And they're just like the HR interviews where you just like debate salary and just hybrid versus So yeah, from the depths of hell I have risen.
Proud of you, man.
glad.
Congratulations.
Big glad.
Yeah, man. It's all about just keeping a positive attitude, having good people around you like you guys, and staying productive. So yeah, they're all good stuff. All good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, and I'm glad your blackness is getting behind you, and you're coming out the other side stronger, better, and smarter than you ever were before. And I'm looking for great things coming out of this project. And so, yeah, as soon as you get that set to release, CK, you got a spot right here, buddy. Me and you will go live, and we'll do an AMA, and I'll deep dive, and I'm gonna tear it apart. You know me. I'm not pulling any punches, but I really want to dive into it.
You wouldn't be a good friend if you were a yes man. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And Vegan Mom says, big news. I went to No King's dress as permanently pissed protest pigeon. Wow, it was amazing here in Denver. Did anyone else go? I don't know. I know we had a big one here in Boise. I did not go. I don't know. Anybody else go? Let us know in the chat. So now it's time.
I did not go because I'm trying to keep politics fairly low key because of where I work. So
that's got to be tough working for a state agency.
Well,
it
kind of. But at least you're self-funded, so I suppose that's fine.
Right.
You know?
But we still are at the governor's mercy.
Okay.
So,
Ooh. Sad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things are crazy. I try to avoid politics at all costs, but there's some things I watch and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This is insanity. Something else kind of triggered tonight's whole topic and stuff. So let's, I'm starting to cool down a little bit. So let's bring the fire back in this, because I know there's one person who's always fired up. That's none other than Nexus himself. What's up, brother?
Oh, I'm a care. I'm covered in allergies, but I'm ready to burn stuff down. I know you guys already hit on helium. I'm really sorry. I didn't know you didn't know about the vote thing. I got a ping. I assumed you as the IoT guy would have been like all over this the moment the vote went up. But
right.
I saw it. I was just like, oh, another bad decision by Helium, and I just didn't even vote on it. I didn't even waste the gas to vote. But you raised interesting points about centralization. But at the same time, we're talking about governance here, right? We're talking about governance decisions. And that means that because we vote with this stuff like it's a voting share, that means this is actually capitalism. As much as it feels like something worse, this is capitalism writ large, unrestricted. Like, if somebody has lots of money, they can buy up lots of governance shares, and presto, now they control things. Like, that's how this goes. That's actually one of the reasons why overly liquid governance is considered a security risk for most of these organizations. Because if it is possible for someone within a blockchain's block amount of time to borrow an amount of those tokens, make a vote, and then liquidate them, then, if they can do that, then they, for that period of time, they control everything. They control all of the decision making. And it is possible with a series of well-timed flash loans for someone to not only control an organization like this, but to utterly destroy it and liquidate it from within, with essentially a couple of poison transactions, as it were. So it's like the unrestricted free market capitalism is really cool until somebody who really has the money to burn, the will to use it, and the technical skill to execute on their plan comes along, and then things get real crazy real quick. This isn't that. Thankfully, this is just a bad decision by the people with the most money who are in charge of the foundation. And I expect that the network participation might drop and decrease from something like this.
I would hope so, or expect to, but at the same time, I got to be honest with you guys. I got in at $20 a month for unlimited cell phone. After I read that news, I went out and started looking in the area here. The cheapest I can get is with Mint Mobile, and after the 3-month trial period, it goes up to $35 a month. So it's one of those like, I'm gonna stay. But if there was something else comparable, I think I would actually switch. But
well, isn't that interesting then that the Solana network, right, which is what Helium migrated to being built on after they abandoned their proof of wild consensus by area blockchain system they had, which I supported it at that period. That's when I came in, because I thought that was really radical and really cool. Right. Like, just a really strange way to build a blockchain consensus, but novel. Like, apparently it was also really expensive. So, now here we are on Solana, and Solana has the Solana Seeker and Solana Mobile itself. So it's basically Solana Network now supports Helium, which has Helium Mobile, which is a competitor of Solana Mobile and Solana Seeker. So it's it's that's a really weird thing, and it kind of reminds me of the AI Ouroboros thing that's going around.
It is. It's crazy. It's like, okay, well, we can't run our own, and so we're going to get in bed with this other one, but now it means we're sweeping with our enemy. It's like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to get sketch.
It's people are saying that Solana is building these applications and infrastructure combined outward, where a lot of people will start with one and then try to build the other. Solana's doing both. So it's one of those weird situations where I don't know what's going to happen to Helium if the Solana Seeker is like, oh, your mobile plan can be supported with like staked Solana revenue. Like, okay, so if I just get enough Solana and then stake it, and in a wallet that's tied to my cell phone, then that's my mobile phone bill covered for basically perpetuity. Like, okay, that's kind of wild and awesome and radical. Like, I wonder how many cell phone providers offer deals like that. Like, that's kind of that's kind of novel. That's a novel value proposition, and I see that going a lot further than most people think. It's expensive for somebody in the developing world to do something like that, but at the same time, more feasible for someone in the developed world to just go, oh, I'd like, 10 staked Solana now, please, and off we go to the races. Like,
right.
It doesn't hurt your wallet as much to invest in that. But the idea is, honestly, to make the most affordable phone on the planet. That's what the Solana people have said their goal is, like the most affordable phone and phone plan on the planet, and run on decentralized infrastructure so that it can't be, say, SIM chip turned off the way that the Chinese government can just go, oh, we don't like you, click.
Right. Denied. Game over. You're done. Yeah. And it's interesting. I kind of saw some of this stuff coming. As big as cell phones have gotten, nobody can run without a cell phone anymore. No. So it makes sense. Big corporations are going to take over that line of communication, and they're going to do it. But the great thing is, even though Solana's saying they want to make the cheapest phone ever, yeah, they got a long ways to go. What did the last one go for? 600 or 800? I forget. You remember?
It went for quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite expensive, and that's why I said it's almost like cost prohibitive for someone in the developing world who is, frankly, their target demographic. And I know there's other folks out there who are working on other solutions to this problem, but right now, Solana and their Seeker are like the market leader in terms of value for money and taking a shot at trying to solve this problem.
And it's interesting because unfortunately we can't do it here in the U.S. But one cell phone company, Alpha, I know you have been involved with quite a bit down there in South Africa, is BitPay Mobile and Finevent and BioFi and all of them. So the Phoenix
that's what
one,
I'm referencing.
$199.
I have one of the sweetest. I had it earlier, but I think I placed it again somewhere because I was cleaning up again, so I put it somewhere. Anyway, but yeah, really cool. Also very cheap for the specs. It's a very mid phone, but it also has a very mid price, which makes it affordable. I think it's like $200, which is like what 3,500 rand here in South Africa, so which is very much affordable for most people. Might have to be like, okay, the person's going to buy it over like 3 to 6 months, but it's not exactly the most expensive thing on the planet. That's about what you expect out of a mid phone, medium tier phone, a phone that you're just like, okay, I want something that's good. It's not flagship, but it's good.
Right.
And it's not horrible, especially that part.
Absolutely. And that brings you and wraps you back around to the beautiful lie of decentralization. Because what we're talking about here is infrastructure upon which an info tech and communications technology operates. In order to have a cell phone, you need a cell phone data plan. Somebody is feeding your data into the grid and then sending you data back out. Like that has to happen. And the same is true of general internet access and the internet rails. You need a provider, an internet service provider. And most of those rails are owned by the same small set of small media companies that essentially run, own, operate the infrastructure that the internet moves around on. That creates a situation where in order for me to access my internet money, I need an internet service provider. That internet service provider will have all of my customer info. They'll have all my details. They'll have my address. And because of all of that, there is gatekeeping. There is flawless KYC customer information of my access to the internet, and therefore my access to all my digital magic internet money. So in that context, nothing we do is decentralized, not even in the full infrastructure way that we want. Bitcoin is not, Ethereum is not, the stable coins are not, controls or no controls. Everything pegged or unpegged is absolutely centralized by gatekeepers with access to the infrastructure you use to reach your Bitcoin, reach your Ether, reach your money. And in that context, until we have like the internet as a utility in the philosophical sort of mind share of people, where it's something like water, it's something like a roof, like internet is something I just have to have. Until we have something going like that, where it is considered a public access utility rather than a private pay to get into kind of club, then we're going to be stuck here crowing about decentralization until the cows come home, but we won't have it as much as we might want it.
Very true. But now, of course, there are some things have to be decentralized, obviously. So, we've heard about decentralization for years. And that's what crypto world is all about. Everyone talks about it's decentralized. But what really is? But not just crypto world. We start talking about personal lives, whether it's how we drive, where we live, things like that. Decentralization can go to a lot of different things besides just the financial world. So give me some examples of what could be considered decentralization, maybe outside of the financial world, that you guys have seen operate, and how well do they do? What do you guys think? And Wild Angel ducked out. I love it.
Yeah,
she wrote a sensor's going off. Her sensor's going off. Yeah. A good example of decentralization, I think, working as it should, and obviously a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this for a lot of reasons, but actually it's been held up as an ideal, is frankly the 50-state system of the United States. Each one of those is a separate state government with a separate constitution, and yet all of them send their representatives in government to Congress. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with the way it's set up. We can argue for days about the political nuances of it, but every 4 years in the United States, we have a non-violent coup. And that is in some ways a political miracle, because in other countries, they don't have that. If they're going to have a coup every 4 years, then it's because an army of guys with guns rolled into the Capitol, some people died, and they said, we're in charge now, and everyone around put their hands up and said, okay, just tell us what the rules are and what the taxes are, and we'll keep going on as normal, bro. Just don't kill us.
Yeah.
No, I agree with Nexus on, it's the best example or humanity's attempt at decentralization. But
obviously, we found ways to gatekeep and mess that up and centralize that too. Like, obviously, that is also the case. Yeah. So it's going to be, you're actually going to be hard pressed that because we can point at a lot of things and go, oh yeah, that's decentralized. There's lots of different people in lots of different places engaged with it. But you look at the share of that engagement, and then there's weights that you have to apply, and then suddenly the centralization elements, as we all parade decentralized on our backs of our members-only jackets, becomes quite apparent. Like, you scratch at it, and it's like, oh, this is a fake members-only jacket.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Power corruption. I was in my head. The first thing that came up was being a soldier on the battlefield in the Civil War, when you had the same weapons as the British and the Americans. That was fair.
Oh, another way. Yeah, and because you brought that up, that actually does give me another element of this. So because in the U.S. we have 50 different states with 50 different governments and all these different subcultures and communities and accents and all that stuff, when the U.S. Army invaded France June 6, 1944, it was chaotic, and no one had perfect communication or radio back to everywhere else. So what they did is they formed combined units of dudes from different places, different units, with different sets of training and different skills, and they adapted together in the face of what was basically a totally unified, well-communicated. They had remember, the Nazis had telegraph infrastructure and everything. Like, they had full communications when we hit the beat. Like, the airborne were doing their best to disrupt the infrastructure, but they can only do so much, and a bunch of them got held back and pinned down. A bunch of them killed. So things went to shit. But the plan was more important. The mission was more important. So everyone worked together and cooperated when otherwise it would have been like, well, you're not my commanding officer. I don't take orders from you. The system essentially broke down. But because of an adaptable, decentralized command structure, well and capable officers were able to lead men who were not under their command to basically victory over a period of weeks.
Interesting. So let me ask then. Okay, so if we've only seen this decentralization succeed in the times of chaos, have there been any times of positivity or peace where it succeeded? Give me some examples here, guys and girls. Now that you're back, welcome back, Wild Angel. We missed you. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, historically, back even in the feudal times, the king was considered the absolute power, but people's ability to influence the king, in some cases, could be absolute. And in other cases, were advisory or quite powerful in that context. I mean, that's where we get the Chinese concept of the eunuch from.
Yeah, the people that had the king's ear were, might as well have been
the king
ruler.
himself. Yeah.
Right, because there were some pretty pathetic kings.
Yes, ma'am.
and a lot of times it was the queen that had the king's ear.
I was going to say, you read the history books, they'll tell you all about how powerful and glorious the king's decisions were, but in reality, he's like a frail loser who with brain rot who can't make his own decisions or even feed himself, and the queen is doing all of the ruling because she put stuff out in her husband's name. Then it's just as good.
Or she put thoughts in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, well, that sounds good because she said it.
A lot of deeper readings of history indicate that the wives of power were often more powerful than power itself. It's one of those funny ironies, in a sense.
Behind every good king was a powerful queen.
You got it, boss.
I got a really good example of a decentralized system that has been working for a long time, and everyone has likely used it at some point, especially if you've gone out pirating. Torrents.
Oh yes, actually, very true.
System that everyone knows about. Torrents.
Yeah. And the simple thing is with a torrent, right, is that one person the first guy who creates and seeds it, he doesn't have to seed it forever. He only needs to seed for long enough to proliferate and generate more seeds. And then if something's popular and people want to keep it and share it, then those seeds proliferate on their own. And then he could literally shut down and stop like he was never there even. And it just keeps going on its own.
This is going to be a silly question, probably. What's a torrent?
Oh, I got it. You want it? You got it, Alpha.
Short, sweet, make it sweet. Make it short.
Make it simple. It's like you have a bowl of. I'm gonna analyze
analogy.
Vertically analogy. So it's like you have. Let's say you have this one specific book or something, and you want to share it. But you don't want to go and give it to each person. So you take that book as a seed, you go put it somewhere, you allow other people to come copy that book, and then they can proliferate it to other people. That's torrenting.
Oh.
So you are the initial torrent, and everyone else kind of copies from you. And if there's more people that have made copies, they can go copy from each person. Maybe take 10% from you, 10% from the next person. So there's a large group of now people that you can just go and copy from. basically.
Gotcha.
more
It was
people that
actually-
copy.
It was originally designed to make data transfers more efficient, so that one server wasn't always the one place sharing a piece of software or media or something that lots of other people were going to need. So because you can download a little bit from this guy, a little bit from the other guy, a little bit from a third guy, the idea was to make data transfers more efficient in a peer-to-peer contact. And since it's been adapted to create torrent links or seeds for basically anything under the sun, books, games, television, media, almost basically anything you could download, you could create a torrent for.
Oh,
It's really cool. It's really cool.
kind of like our jellyfish.
Yeah.
Kind of like, but if you take
Yeah.
our jellyfin server and then you take another 50 of them, let's say somebody's watching a movie that 5 of us have. Okay, our server, we have a power outage, or it goes out. It immediately connects to the next person who has that same movie at the same spot, so it doesn't disconnect your stream. Just keeps
Boom,
running.
yes.
So it uses all these different resources combined
Okay.
to give that final person a quick data transfer rate.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
And seamless. You don't
Exactly.
You don't even notice it. Like you don't notice it when it's happening because it's so seamless. It's so much so that you can precisely use the torrents to request the data in order. Hence why it's possible for you to literally use a piece of torrent data, plug it straight into, say, a video software like VLC, and it'll straight up start downloading the thing, and you're watching it from the first moment it starts. But, like, again, people mostly use it for piracy, but it was originally intended to just make data transfers more efficient.
Wow.
I wouldn't know anybody who pirated software from torrent ever. No.
Pirating became a necessary, so and torrenting happened to be a really convenient technology, so people used it.
Well,
makes sense.
And for a lot of it, a lot of the software and stuff that you can get or utilize over the years, and I'm not going to say I have or have not because I won't go there anyway.
You don't want to go there, yeah.
Right. It goes back to the whole platform that the software and a lot of the things that are on there are things that are outlandishly expensive to begin with. They shouldn't be this pricey. Why? Because the guy at the top wants to get richer and richer and richer, and to hell with everybody else. I think a reasonable return on your investments, like, okay, I invented this, I got double, triple, made some decent money. That should be fair. Let's just call it a day. But we see this with drug companies. We see this with corporations all around the world where they're selling software for stupid amounts of money. Like, are you serious? I mean, I've seen World of Warcraft. They still want to charge you, what is it, $15, $18 a month to play a game that's, 10, 15 years old? It's like, seriously, guys? You made millions.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You trying to go play World of Warcraft? You still have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah, baby. Every level after level 20, you can play for free up to level 20, and then they'll be like, yo, you gotta give us that 15 to 20 a month, baby. Or if you got rich friends, they can give you gold, and then you can buy WoW tokens. So you can, in a way, I call it EVE Online it, where you make enough money that you're playing for free technically, but you also basically have, but you gotta be a financial manager in order to pull that off.
That's basically, yeah. So, so this goes back to...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, no, go ahead. CK, take it.
I was just thinking, and I was just running through my head, so many aspects of life, and what is actually decentralized? Family, maybe? No, not really. Because then you have, mafia families. So that's not. And then,
or even a normal family. You have, in our household, most of the time the girls have the say. Wild Angel says something, I let it slide. But every once in a while, I play the dad card. Game over. Here's how it's going, and that's it. No discussion. It's over with. The king spoke. I don't speak very often, by the way. I'm too cute to die.
There's a powerful person behind his throne.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I think every family has that, whether, dad finally says, that's it. We're done. Game over. Shut up. And that's it. It stops. So even families, not even mafias, but just regular social aspects. Are there some social aspects? So I want to throw that out. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, even sports. Everyone saw the NBA. All those people just got arrested for for the gambling with the mafia, right?
Oh my goodness.
And everyone was, for years, everyone said the games were rigged. We all knew they were rigged, but we couldn't prove it. I mean, the NFL is probably the next pin to fall. The NFL is even worse if you watch the games. I can't. The only thing that I can think of that's decentralized is like when you're in a fight with somebody, like in a physical fight, or like if you're in or if you're playing a PvP game against somebody. There's not much that's decentralized, in my opinion. Either way, one person always has an advantage. Usually, more trains, they had more money, whatever it is. I can't even think of one.
That's a good point. What about you, Alpha? What about in South Africa? Is there anything down there that you're used to in your area that's decentralized that maybe we're not aware of?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
Thank you. That's why I'm here. I'm here all night.
Oh no. It's like, can you hear me?
I'm sure he's sitting here like, yo, there's some stuff that's totally centralized that I wish was decentralized, bruh.
I feel like that's like true around the world.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't really think there's anything that I can really think of right now that would be decentralized. Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, around the world, the truth is we love our pyramid schemes, brother. We love them.
People do love that, right? They really do love that.
And everyone's dream is to one day be the top of my very own pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And something I've noticed, and that kind of brought this conversation about tonight also, is not only decentralized, but it kind of goes with what you're talking, Nexus, is where we're always looking to be the top of something. Some pyramid somewhere, we want to be the best at something. And we've seen gamers, because I've been doing a lot of streaming on Twitch with Ghostfacey6. Make sure to subscribe to our channels. We play Dead by Daylight, things like this, and I met some other Twitch streamer stuff. But there's these guys who keep getting caught spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on software so they can be the best player of that game that has no monetary value. It has no reward of any kind, but they're spending all this money to be hacks. And it got me thinking, why are people doing this? And next, I think it comes down to something I've seen a lot on my cell phone, which is these cell phone games. The mindless, mind-numbing thing that's like a casino game you never lose on. It's free money, but it's like, oh yeah, 1,000,000 coins, you could bet everything, and you just put it on auto spin and set it aside. I let one run last night for an hour and a half just to see if it would, and it did by itself. And I come back every 20 minutes like, look, I'm up $10 million. Look at that. I'm a hero.
Auto players, auto battlers, everything like that. The gacha games, the loot boxes, the team games, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Marvel's got about 5 of these. Like, pick your Marvel verse. You can find one of these starring that one's characters. Like, all of that we can trace directly back to an innovation from the year 2007 that comes from a little-known game executive by the name of Andrew Wilson. Now, you know him today as the Chief Executive Officer of Electronic Arts. But once upon a time, he was a lowly game producer who would greenlight projects, specifically in the sports department. So he was giving us Madden and FIFA and stuff like that. Right? That was his niche. Well, one day, he inherited a soccer game project that had premium currency with loot boxes in it. But it was a premium currency that you could only earn by playing the game. Andrew Wilson's genius was to take that game's systems from the year 2006 and then add the ability for you with an Xbox Live account to put your credit card into it. That was the simple innovation. And that's what gives us FIFA 07 Ultimate Team. And everything stems from there. All of the mobile games, all of the little strategy games, all of those are just different types of games attached to this very simple model of, I need to build a team, but I need to open packs to get players. All right.
Gotcha.
everything comes back to this right there, and that's when it all changed.
And but it always comes back to that needing to be the top of the pyramid, whether that's within your life, within your finance, your job, your video game, or even a little stupid cell phone game. It gives you that endorphin hit of "look at me, I'm a superhero," and it seems like we don't want to decentralize, even if we say we preach decentralization everywhere. But we're all about, I want to be the top of the food chain. And it's like, how do we break that?
Well, you have to separate the money from the power contest is what you have to do. Because otherwise, a guy who's a whale, whether it's in a video game or real life, they're going to be the top. Because if money equals power, then there you go. That's why when in a video game, as a design principle, if I was designing one, I'm opposed to paying for power. I don't want you to be able to swipe a credit card and suddenly be strong and powerful and good at the game. Like, I don't think it should be that simple. And yet, this economy of paying for power goes so deep that if you guys remember when Elon Musk was flexing his Diablo 4 accounts during the election for some reason last year? Oh, yeah. Yeah, almost all of those accounts were paid for, meaning he gave money to somebody who created an account, bought a copy of the game, leveled up the character, geared up the character, created the build, did the build craft, did the work, and then handed the account and the credentials over to Mr. Musk for a 6-figure sum, 5-6-figure sum, somewhere in that range. We don't actually know how much. That's never been confirmed, but we do know he paid for that, and then he ran around like trying to play on the high levels like he's good. And it's obvious to anyone who's played specifically a Diablo game, let alone the latest one, that he's not. That's no idea of what he's doing.
Yeah, those games are evil.
I saw some of the footage of that, and it's like, are you serious? You're bouncing off walls. Like, what the hell are you doing? It was crazy.
You need to be skilled to play that game, even on the low levels.
Yeah, and frankly, anyone who wants to experience sort of the same feeling of like watching Elon Musk play, but you're the bad player, a great way to do that is to fire up a brand new World of Warcraft account, pay for 1 month subscription, pay for a character boost to max level, and then play your character on the max level without actually going through the hard work or participating in the journey, and see how well you do. You chances are you're not going to have any idea what you're doing.
Nope. You're going to be screwed, definitely. And we'll say, hey, Odin snuck in the house. How you doing, buddy? And yes, no king protests in only country without kings. Ironic, isn't it? Although, some would say that the kings are the ones with the money and the power. They just buy their kingdom now. They don't have to have it in their blood or,
I was going to say, our kings don't wear crowns. They wear Brinks trucks minted around their head.
Pretty much.
And the middle class and lower class aren't slaves. We just are controlled by debt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they have even more control.
Indentured, sir. I'm not enslaved. I'm just indentured.
Yeah, totally different. We're bought and paid for. It's a different lifestyle. That's okay, Odin, man. Yeah, it is definitely saved, so you can definitely rewind it. It's been a very eventful evening. We've been fired up for most of it. So, I was on a rant. You'll enjoy that.
Screw Ledger and screw Helium.
Yeah.
Infinitely screwed.
We get screwed everywhere we turn. Somebody's screwing us from behind or in front or... It hasn't
everywhere.
So all the... Whoops, I hit mute, sorry. So... Now, you are not near as much in the crypto world as most of us, and we've heard decentralized so many times. What other areas of your life have you heard the concept, maybe not the term, but the concept of decentralization, where maybe you've actually seen it work, or it could potentially work, that maybe we haven't experienced?
It's a tough question.
I really think
That's me.
that true decentralization is a great myth. It is that utopia. However, the reality of it, there are so many infrastructure things that because of efficiency, they are, what's the word nexus, oligarchies?
Yeah, oligarchy or oligopoly.
Right. It's like a legal monopoly. And so for efficiency, like utility companies, it'd really be hard to change. Oh, they've got a better price this week. They've got a better price. Changing utilities all the time would not be efficient. And so, but those kind of infrastructures is just not going to happen.
Well, at the same time, in defense of the free market, you don't have to switch your utility company every week. You just have to be aware of the actual increases in prices, however justified or unjustified. And when they... Yeah.
It would be completely inefficient to have, 4 sets of utility lines.
Yes, but that's partially why this is a debate, because the lines we have are controlled by so few. And in that context, others have to lease them to use them to supply power. So it becomes this kind of Ouroboros, where the snake's eating its own tail.
Right. It really does. But when it comes to... I heard so much about decentralized. It's in the power of the people. However, governments are getting involved, which we knew they would. So it's KYC. It's the SEC. Taxes. Capital gains, capital loss. Those taxes. The government is involved. And so if the government is involved, is it truly completely in the hands of the people?
Good.
Well, that's always been true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, especially now that the president has his own crypto firm. I mean, that just changed the game entirely. So we are getting close to the end here, but you brought up something that really triggered my interest here, Wildane. So you said decentralization is kind of a utopian concept. However, one example Nexus gave earlier is when true decentralized work was more in a dystopian environment, in a war zone. So is it possible the only way to truly gain a decentralized structure is a complete dystopian society?
Yes.
Terminator. Skynet, that's it. Humanity's gone.
But there's another way to look at it, too, that is more of a utopian vision, but with a cynical lens. And that's Jason Lowery's thesis about Bitcoin being a form of soft power. In that context, your hash rate becomes a non-lethal weapon that you're wielding in defense of the network. And as such, helping to increase decentralization, harden security, and prevent actors from executing 51% capital attacks. And at a certain point, it becomes so prohibitively expensive to do so that actually the profit motive, if that's all that's left in a competitive capitalistic society, means that we're going to fight over the hash rate and we're not going to shoot missiles. I need to build better power infrastructure, create more power than your country if I expect to control the network or to at least protect my share of it. That's the short reductionist version of the soft power thesis, hash power thesis.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's late. If I could just throw in there, I mean, you can even go back to what was it? Athens, right? The only ever direct democracy. Even they were corrupt with their boards and stuff, and everyone knows that. In my opinion, with humans, true decentralization is most comparable to some ancient Indian tribes, where there were barter systems that did not require money. And
they didn't really conceive of private property. It was communal resources in that way, family resources.
Not to push Marxism, but I'm saying in the sense of the removal of kind of money from society is the only way to remove power and evil, in my opinion.
Well, Marxism is just a lens through which to view labor as a matter of economic power, brother.
So
it just
now,
changes the focus of the power.
right. Now that brings up something great, CK. You brought something up, that has been discussed before. I don't think here, but I know it's something I've researched. Is before money, you had the tribes and things like that. Whether it's society, a village, or just a tribe, there was still the hierarchies within those. You had the medicine men, you had the top hunter who ate better, who had more meat to trade or things like that. So it seems like all throughout history, there's always been some form of somebody always had their level of seniority or top of the food chain, tip of the pyramid, as we talked earlier, based on a skill set. So is that actually still decentralized? Or do we see perks and benefits to those ones that are the best hunters, the best farmers, or the best crafters, maybe?
It's one of the innate issues of humanity, which is ego and pride, and then it also goes back to reproduction too. You want to be the strongest male, so you can have sex with the most women and have the most children, right? It goes all the way back to that, right? I don't know.
He's gonna get his ass whooped.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get hurt.
I don't know, the answer. But yeah, there's so many things when it comes to power, money, respect.
So here's a question for you guys with
the teachings of Jesus Christ fly in the face of what you're saying, though, CK. They literally say, "Love thy neighbor."
We are so not going. We're so not going down that road. So I'm drawing the line right here. Time.
At some point, though, Mr. Serenity, you got to admit we divert from the natural pattern. We can fall back on it all the time, but our logic brains, our language brains, we diverted from what was natural and became something new, something human. I'm a humanist. I believe in that.
Fair enough. Okay, I can respect that. Absolutely. So, on going out, here's my thought. Is it possible, and we'll leave this thought with you guys and everybody in the audience, so this was, in closing, is it possible for humanity, the society of human beings, for us to ever find true decentralization? What do you guys think?
Absolutely. We're a bunch of ugly, beige, brown sacks of mostly water, and we invented computers. We can figure this out.
We taught a rock to think. CPUs are just rocks at the end of the day. We taught a rock to think. I think we will be fine. We just need to
we can teach rocks. If we can teach sand to think, then we can teach each other to govern better.
We need to get out of our own way.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm more wild on
Get out
this.
of our own damn way. Sorry, CK.
What makes you wild, CK? Tell us.
I'm more with Wild on this. I agree more with her on the sentiment of it goes back to, is humanity good or evil? And then good and evil is also objective to the eye of the observer as well. So I don't know. The way I see the scope of the world as it is now, the only form of unity we'll have is a common enemy, which has always been true. Common enemy like Three-Eye Atlas coming to visit, and who knows what those crystalline beings are. I'm not going to go into something like that could actually make humans, stop being pieces of shit sometimes.
Actually, CK, I was totally going on that angle, and I was hoping somebody would bring it up, because my philosophy is I don't think human beings can do it on our own. I think we're going to need an outside force like 3AI Atlas or some alien being to come down here and go, "You're a bunch of little spoiled bitches. Everybody shut up. We're in charge. Piss off. You're all the same. Game over." It kind of like Dad did with us. I mean, he just walks and just smacks everybody.
But I don't
care who started it.
I don't want fully automated, federated, gay, luxury, space alien communism for humanity, Serenity. We can do better than that.
I don't know. We've been on this planet how many thousands of years, and we're worse off now than we were? I don't know.
No. That's what I'm saying I won't concede. I genuinely believe that just because we spent 99% of our time thinking the pyramid scheme is the best way to govern everything, and sometimes we had a good leader, and most of the time we had leaders who hated each other and used us to piss on each other for nationalistic purposes throughout most of history. And that period is coming to an end. There's too much information, there's too much connectivity, and there's too much internet. When a bullet gets fired in Pakistan, I read about its victims in minutes now. Not hours, not days,
Or
not
months.
years, minutes. And that's incredible. Things are changing. We're going to change with it. And so will our governments and way of governing. We're going to encounter dilemmas that we've never encountered before. But part of our issue is, frankly, that with all of this connectivity, it is easier for us to influence each other than it ever has been. So as long as we crow and prostrate and get angry about illegal immigrants and people pushing the borders, we have to remember that when we read trash on the internet, it's probably coming from someone who's never been to where we live, never seen where we live. They don't participate in your local town council. They don't know what your home ownership association is like. They don't care or know or care about any of that. They have an agenda. They live overseas and are getting clicks and engagement from hating on you and your way of life from far away. And it's happening across the spectrum because politically, the clicks come no matter what side or agenda they push.
It's a good point.
Yes. And those are manipulated by whom? Those at the top.
Exactly. So, okay. And I want to read Odin's here. So, Odin, the problem is that there's not enough space for every company to run their own lines. There's specifically utility corridors allowed. Yep, exactly.
He's right. That's why they have to share.
Yep. Another problem, decentralization, is standardization. As humans, we expect products to have equal quality. That's a good point.
I'm not against standardization. I'm for standardization. Right. But I can get around it just by lying to you from a business perspective. Like, oh, I bought this from Temu, but I'm saying it was made in America, right? No, it wasn't. But I've subcontracted it. The subcontractor lied, and I saved money by selling you a subpar product that I misrepresented. And that there's no more consumer protection, so there's nothing we can even do or say about it.
I mean,
there's no one there to complain to.
Go to any car repair shop. Your $200 bumper is now $1,000.
Yep. Oh, dude, don't get me started on cars. Yeah, I turned wrenches for 12 years. I get it. So it is an interesting topic, and it's one that we're going to continue to hear being preached, especially moving in. People talk about we're at the peak of the bull market. Altcoin season's coming, and then the DeFi season. Now, once that DeFi season hits, decentralization is going to be a huge thing. Everyone's going to be screaming about it, and people who don't know anything about it, they didn't see this conversation. They weren't here tonight. Sadly, I hope they are. I hope you make sure to like, subscribe, and share this out so they do learn about this. But they're going to get lured in, and they're going to think, wow, decentralization, that sounds amazing. I want to be a part of that, because they're not going to know any different. So it's up to all of us to try to get this information out and let people realize what the truth is. And so I hope everybody is making sure to do your part in your communities, in your neighborhoods, within your families, wherever you happen to be, to get the truth out there so that people do understand that the concept sounds great, but we are so far from it. It shouldn't even be verbalized in any way. Sadly, it is constantly.
It's a bogus marketing point.
It is. I agree totally. So, guys, it has been a heated debate tonight, and we've had a lot of fun. I know I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys have. And I hope everybody's learned something. But if there's anything we haven't covered yet, toss it in the chat real quick, and we'll try to get that answered. Other than that, leave us out some words of wisdom and maybe some positivity to look forward to for the rest of the year. What do we got coming here? Wild Angel, I'll pick on you because Alpha Cruz is obviously not here.
I missed half the question. You talked really fast. And so I missed
Sorry,
half
I got excited. With all the negativity we've shared, give some positivity and some positive outlook for the rest of this year. What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to my next big adventure. And I think everybody needs to look at their next big adventure. For me, it's getting through school. East Denver's coming up in February. I'm really looking forward to that. There's a lot out there to have adventures with. And with everything going on in the world, I really think people need to stop focusing on that negative and look at their next big adventure.
Very true. Very true. Well said. KCK, what do you got for us, buddy?
You know, I would just say, if you're going through some shit, rock bottom is the best place to build a foundation because it can't go any lower. So keep it moving, keep it positive, and just keep stepping forward, and things fall into place.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Definitely
very
powerful
well
words.
said.
Yeah. I know many here have been to rock bottom, and yeah, I can absolutely vouch that is the way to do it, buddy. I'm proud of you for doing so, my man, and if you ever need help, we're always here.
Hello. Don't commit internet crimes, children. There's been over 36 horrible, evil, no good, very bad men and women both in their 20s and 30s across Europe, Canada, America, and the United States in general, who've all been arrested for being a member of the 764 cult. Please, if you ever encounter anyone who tries to coax you into giving them nude video of yourself, do not do it. It sounds
Damn, I was going to make some money.
Yeah, it sounds like a unrealistic and unreasonable thing of me to ask of you, I know, but please, just humor me. Don't ever do that. Mostly because you don't know what these people are going to try to do with it in the future when you don't want it exposed. And they might do such horrible things as try to coax you to commit acts of real-world terrorism in exchange for not releasing said video. And if you're scared enough of it getting released because they know who all of your friends and family and parents are, yeah, you'd be shocked, but not shocked, I guess, what some people are willing to do to avoid it getting worse, and then they do it, and it gets infinitely worse. So please, beware of all of that. It's all terrible. Don't engage with them. Don't join their discords, and definitely don't ever traffic in your nude photos unless things get truly desperate and your name is Serenity, obviously.
Hey, gotta make some money somehow. What do you got for us, Alpha?
You're muted.
You know, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Shoot. There we go. I'll take it as when something bad happens, you experience a trauma. Now, a trauma will tell you that you're the bad person, that you were the one that should have done things differently. But when you're healing, you'll realize that in hindsight, you could not have done things differently. And you need to accept that. You need to move on, and you need to think about, okay, I can make mistakes. It's going to happen, but I'll do better next time. That's my positivity for this week. You're muted,
You're
Serenity.
muted now, Serenity.
Now I'm muted. Damn it!
Serenity is definitely going to need that healing now.
Oh yeah, need some spiritual healing. So and all this is great advice. And right now, times are terrifying. People don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on with the government or nothing. I mean, people are scared. The fear and greed. Oh, I forgot to share that. It's down at what is it, 32? The fear and greed index. It's horrible. Nobody has a clue. Here's the trick. There's one guarantee I can absolutely promise you will occur. And that is the sun will rise tomorrow. There is another day in the future. So don't give up on today. Tomorrow there's always new opportunities, new adventures, new things that are going to come your way. Good or bad, I don't know. But how do you make them good? It's easy. You put the positivity out in the universe. So try and do something good every single day. Spread some little yellow ducks around. Say please, thank you, hold the door open. Do an act of kindness, and I guarantee it will be returned to you in the future when you need it most, typically. So with that, I want to wish you a great weekend, and everybody, please stay safe out there and no nude photos. Love you all. We'll catch you next Friday. Night, guys.
Night.
Take care.
No promises on the photos.
Okay, that's fair. Night, guys.
Good night.
Night.
Amazing.
I've walked through the fire, chased every shadow